AgBioIT and IMOT Agri Forum jointly presents a webinar panel discussion today on Farm Buzz 2020. So this is from the perspective of agriculture and plant science community. So you may all wonder, what is AgBioIT? So before moving on to that, let me introduce myself. I'm Divya a member of LLB-SCHOOL, as well as a member of AgBioIT. So by now you may all know a lot about LLB-SCHOOL, and recently LLB-SCHOOL has launched AgBioIT. So the vision of AgBioIT is to bring a community of agriculture, plant science, and data scientists together professionally. And it provides like every service possible to bring these three professionals under one single roof. And this is all about AgBioIT. And then before we move on to the session, today I'm going to also announce a few things. What the participants of this session should do at the end is you'll have to speakers and then draft the best summary possible, and then whomsoever gives the best summary will get a cash prize of 500 rupees, and we'll be speaking about the top best 3 summaries, and it will be published in IMOT, which is an online journal, and it will be published there. So you can write about 500 to 700. So you have to carefully listen to it throughout the session. And we will also give 10 appreciation certificates for whomsoever wrote those summaries. The panel discussion today. And today it's my honor and privilege to introduce and welcome our guest speakers, one of eminent personalities and experts in the field of agricultural science, especially biotechnology, and take every field possible in the field of agriculture. So Dr.C.Ramasamy, who was our former Vice Chancellor of TNAU, and also I take my pleasure to introduce Dr.P.Balasubramanian, who was our former Director of CPMB TNAU. So to say a few words about them, so they have simply made remarkable achievements and accomplishments in the field of agricultural science, teaching, research, and extension. And we have 2 interviewers today who are going to ask a set of questions to them, and they will be answering them. And before they are going to ask these set of questions, we will have a short speech from both our speakers, and then our interviewers will be going on with the set of questions. And also, there is a chance for the audience to put your questions in the chat box. So kindly don't hesitate to type your questions in the chat box. So here we have the 2 interviewers today, and the first interviewer is Ms.K.Nithya. And to say a few words about Ms.K.Nithya, she's an associate of IAS Academy, and she's teaching UPSC, TNPSC aspirants for the past 9 years in Mahalingam IAS Academy. She's a part of expert committee of LMES Foundation. She's a public orator and part of various career guidance programs conducted by Tamilnadu and Dinamalar. She's an educator for TNPSC, as I earlier said, at Educator-Unacademy. Also, she has a YouTube channel called Tannambike. If there are any IAS aspirants, please don't miss about watching her videos from YouTube. And we have another interviewer, Dr. or Mr. D. Mahalingam. He's soon to be a doctor. I'm sorry. He's currently doing his PhD in economics from the University of Arizona. So he did his BTech in agribusiness management from TNAU between 2007 and 11. So here is the floor for the speakers to start with their introduction and also all about the Farm Bills 2020. Thank you very much. Sir, we can start with Sir Dr. Ramasamy, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Hello, sir. Sorry to interrupt you. Uh, the voice is breaking actually. So we have voice break. Um, can you try to speak again, sir? Yes, sir. We can hear you, but the voices again, they have breaking voices. Mm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can wait for you. Yeah. Yeah, sure, sure. Hello, audience. Kindly wait for a few minutes. And we'll come back with.
Yeah, there is some creaky noise actually.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe it's a internet issue or I don't know.
Might be, yeah. Or maybe his headphones. Sometimes that also happens.
Yeah.
Headphones, and we can request her. No, sometimes it will work.
Yes, maybe we can adjust that. Yeah, it will work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him come back.
So participants, in the meantime, please note the questions. We will try to address most of them in the session. And you can please subscribe to our YouTube channel to confirm your presence. And the feedback link will be shared in our Telegram group at 8 p.m. So at this moment, I again thank our collaborators and Biotechnology, and IMOT Agri Forum. And all about the cash prize, we ask you to write summary at the end of this session, and the best summary will be given 100 rupees cash prize, and best three summaries will get published in imotforum.com, and the top 10 will receive certificates. So please contact us. There is a website for us, and please contact us at llbschool.org. And participants, thank you for very patient and staying in the session.
Hello, sir.
Oh, hello.
How come we have? Somebody has.
So,
Somebody's speaking.
hello. Okay.
Hello, sir. Someone.
Call him and inform, no? Mahesh, call sir and inform that
Yeah.
he can remove his headphones and speak.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I am able to hear. Are you able to hear?
So now it is better. Yes, we are. Yes, sir, we are
And
able to
I
hear.
think this, yeah, but you may not be able to see me. In this computer, there is no, I think, web camera. But you can hear my voice, right?
There are
Yes.
two accounts, so maybe you can reconnect with only one account. Then it will be fine, I guess.
Okay, 1 minute.
Okay. Yes.
So I'm changing you as the presenter, sir.
Hello?
Hello, sir. We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. We can
And
hear
you may
you.
not be seeing me. Yeah, okay.
I
So
guess that
please
will be
go
fine,
ahead.
sir.
Just kindly spend few minutes about what has transpired in my absence.
Okay, sir. No problem.
So Mahalingam, how are you?
No problem, sir.
I thought you were somebody else earlier. I was wondering, whether you belong to biotechnology, a different person, but now I could recognize after seeing your name.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, I am ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You may start. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, really sorry for yeah, now I am ready. And I think I congratulate all of you
Yes, sir.
at the outset for being a TNAU alumni, and even though you are far away, you are able to organize such kind of meetings so that we also get updated what is going on, and we also very consciously remembering TNAU, your alma mater, and also equally read about what is happening in this country. So that is why you are able to identify or the consider the Farm Bills 2020. Now it has become Farm Acts actually, and a lot of discussion and debate is going on within India. Everywhere, every channel almost. If you go to YouTube, there will be 100 people talking about this, and then also high level discussions also at the ICAR and at the university level. So many things going on, and then a lot of political activity based on this that is also going on. I think later you may ask the questions. I think after my introduction, Dr. Balasubramanian will be speaking, I think, right? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
okay.
Yes, sir.
So how many minutes I can take for this introduction?
Sir, we have planned for 15 minutes for each guest. So,
Okay. Okay. So basically, in India, we are trying to develop agriculture since independence. As you know, very many schemes have been implemented in this country. So today, I think latest, you may be knowing that our food production has nearly approached 300 million tons from 50 million tons in 1950s, early 50s. So that is the kind of achievements we have made on the production side. But still we have farmers committing suicides, and then a lot of poor in the rural areas. And then we also have floods and droughts and so on. So that is why the present government focus has been uh, doubling the farmers' income. So the focus has uh, shifted from production to marketing, because marketing is equally important. If you produce more, but if you don't get the remunerative prices, then your income is significantly reduced. So price and market risks have been part and parcel of our agriculture over this past 77 decades. So in the past few years, there is more realization about the importance of agriculture markets, and even though historically we started improving our agriculture marketing in 1937 with agriculture grading and marking scheme. Then subsequently in 1960s we introduced this agriculture regulated market system alongside the cooperative marketing also. And all these then later I will spell out few institutions which have emerged. Meanwhile, the basic theory of the economics is what we call perfect market competition. So one can be, there will be a large number of buyers and large number of sellers, so that prices stabilizes, gets an equilibrium by meeting of demand and supply. So that is the price where consumers and then sellers come to terms with. So it is acceptable both. So this is the perfect market. But in real world, it doesn't happen, doesn't exist. You must have heard of this monopoly, oligopoly, monopolistic competition, all kinds of things. So all these theories were developed mostly using the the theory of industrial organization. So that means for industrial goods, markets are well defined, but for agriculture goods it is not so. So before independence, there were chaos in our agriculture markets, total exploitation by intermediaries or middlemen. There are no proper weights, and all kinds of the misdeed were done by the people. So after independence, as I said, from 1930s onwards based on the recommendation of the Royal Commission on Agriculture in 1929. Subsequently, further committees made recommendation for, regulating the markets. So that is why we had the, the Agriculture Produce Market Committee in 60s. Based on this provision, many state government introduced this agriculture regulated markets in the entire state, in the individual states, and where each district we have the market committees. So market yards were developed, so the farmers can bring their produce, because here it is kind of regulated. So the government officials, market committee officials, receive the farmers, and then buyers will be there. Then there is this the secret price quotations take place, and then price are decided. So if you really look at this agriculture produce market committee activities through their district committees, there were problems of the collusion, cartelization. The farmers were not getting the right prices. This is what one aspect of this regulated market, otherwise APMC. Then number two is uh, uh, you know number two is this markets. Uh, the percentage of agricultural produce covered by this is only in Haryana and Punjab they have a large quantity sold, but in the case of uh, other states it is not so. Only about 10% of the commodities reach these regulated markets, or otherwise in north they call it as mandis. So because of this it is not very successful. Then in 2003 government introduced the APMC, that is Agriculture Produce Market Committee Model Act. Then subsequently it was revised in 2013, in 2017, and so on. So each state has to they reorganize the existing system and then introduce this reforms, market reforms, but they haven't done. So finally, the government of India decided that they will introduce a national level system, so that it will enforce some compulsions on the part of the state, so that they can organize this. See, one thing is with APMC, the problem is you have to market the produce within the market yards or mandis organized by these market committees, or they have sub yards, sub markets, and so on. So there you have to pay the market fee, etc. But in states like Tamilnadu, it was not strictly enforced. Only part of the commodities were going into the regulated markets. The rest were sold outside. It's not very serious problem. It's only a marginal change, after we introduced this new reforms. But in states like particularly Haryana and Punjab, they procure nearly 80% of the produce, mostly rice and wheat, using the minimum support price level, announced by the government of India. So they were gaining hugely. That is why they fear that they may lose that, but it is not so really. So because of that, there is more protest in the North India, particularly, Punjab and Haryana. Okay, the now problem is we have to eliminate this imperfectness in the market, then promote competition. So earlier there is single kind of monopoly, wherein you have to market only inside the agriculture produce market committees. Now they have removed that. That means you can market your products in any place. Actually, as far as perishables are concerned, this the APMC is not very much relevant. So it is a perishable, people have to market it within very short period of time. So that happened. But it is not the case with the the grains, pulses, oil seeds, cotton, tea, for that matter, anything. So to increase the competition, so that more competitors means more buyers, then already we have millions of sellers, so prices may improve. So they want to remove these constraints to create a more competitive market. That is the main purpose of the Act number 1. So you may be knowing the act number 1 is, it is called the Farmers Trade and Commerce Promotion Facilitation Act 2020. So here basically what they have done is they have removed this condition of marketing only in the APMC. You can market anywhere. Then earlier there were interstate restrictions on movement of all these grains, oil seeds and so on. Now they have removed that. So this because of these measures, it is expected that prices will improve for the farmers. So the government is also going to um, uh, you know create an organization which will give the price information and market intelligence in regular real time basis, so that farmers get benefited. So the already there is a ENAM, and ENAM means electronic national agriculture marketing. This will help the farmers to move their products anywhere. Say for example, paddy price in Assam is 1,200 rupees per quintal, but in Andhra is 1,900 rupees or 2,000. So this kind of surplus production can be moving to the scarce area, so that prices will improve. Now, because of the restriction in APMC, now it is once it is removed, any buyer can buy anywhere. Like it may be a processor, he may be a exporter, all kinds of people, they can come and buy it. So this means the prices will be somewhat more stabilized than before, because their markets were segmented. Now it is no more so. So they also expect the uh, private sector to come in and invest more money. Being assemblers, maybe some hundreds of farmers can come and sell their produce there. They can collectively use that for processing, export, and so on. Now there is a new institution being extensively created, that is called Farmer Producer Organization. It's nothing but farmer producer companies. So in Tamilnadu, we have currently about 55 companies, and all India level about 5,000. But the government is going to, sorry, little over 1,000. The government is going to promote the number of 10,000 markets soon, so that in this farmer producer organizations, producers come together and organize things and sell it at a good price by bargaining with the buyers. So that is another story. So that way we are having all India market, one nation, one market. We are having private investment come in creating market infrastructure and so on, and then the consumers will benefit because of the sometimes there is scarcity in some part of the country, in some part of the countries there is no more surplus, and this is what happening. This is the main purpose of this bill or act. Then I coming to the second act, that is farmers actually promotion and empowerment and promotion, price assurance and farm services act. So this is basically it is a kind of creating a vertical integration. That means production to processing, processing to maybe supermarket, and then retailers. So now farmers directly selling to a village trader or some market committee, they are not getting proper prices. If it is purchased by an exporter or a processor, so they may give higher prices, they introduce quality and so on. So this is the expectation. Earlier, now they used the term assurance to the farmers, price assurance. Earlier it was called as contract farming. We have been making efforts on contract farming over years. In a piecemeal manner, it was not very successful. Now they have introduced this Price Assurance and Farm Services Act. So through this, the government will create an enabling environment so that the producers can enter into agreement with a buyer, who may be a processor, exporter, or the wholesaler, and then they have to follow certain rules of the game. Like it will be a fixed price in advance. It will be delivered at a given date, with defined quality and so on. So it involves, a lot of two sides come together. There will always emerge some, the problems or conflict. To sort out this, now district magistrate will be the, the person, appellate authority. He will, through a committee, try to resolve all these problems. So in the act, it is about 20 pages. They have given, the what are the provisions, given in this, so that earlier we had the cases where, buyers may cheat the sellers. Then sellers also violate the agreement and sold outside the market when there is, there is more higher prices if they get outside this agreement. So all these things are now put into, they have developed a framework, and according to that, this vertical integration will be promoted. You see, one thing is, it has not flourished in spite of some efforts earlier, but now the 15th Finance Commission of Government of India, they have requested the government or recommended that some 50,000 crores be allotted. This may be distributed among the states so that they can promote this contract farming. So there are many benefits of contract farming. Of course, there are weaknesses also. Then third act is Essential Commodities Amendment Act of 2020. So here in 1955, when we faced scarcities of food grains or other essential commodities, including some food items, people were storing and speculating. So it affected the consumers very severely. That is why they brought this act. According to that, an individual trader cannot store beyond certain limit, and there were very heavy, kind of punishment penalties that have imposed when they err. So this is very important. So now they have removed that, expecting that a person can store without a cap. But if there is an unreasonable rise in price, government can intervene, and then there are provisions for that. So in economics, what we call time utility, place utility, and farm utility. So this means we have to deliver in a right time. Suppose there is a harvest season of paddy. So this harvested paddy has to be consumed over entire, next 20 months or 15 months, 12 months, and so on. So these, the merchants or traders or any company can purchase and keep it. Then later they process and send it to the market. So that way market glut is avoided immediately after harvest. Then when the scarcity comes in and there is inflation, they release to the market. This is was expected from the theory, but in practice it may be also more difficult. Here also people expect, the government expect there is more investment on on these things. Okay, this is what basically the key features of these three acts. But we have a number of issues. There is debate going on, 7, 8, 9 important issues. Can I answer that, or that can be answered as a part of your questions when you ask? I will explain that. So I think I will stop at this point, and then the ball is yours now.
Yes, sir. We can keep that part in the question and answer session.
Okay.
Thank
fine.
you. Thank you, sir. Yeah, and now we will. Now I request Dr.P.Balasubramanian sir to give his short speech.
Thank you. Am I speaking to Nithya or Divya?
You are speaking to Divya, sir, and Nithya is also listening.
Okay. So I'm not going to repeat. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers, who graduated from Tamilnadu Agricultural University. No, this is a the thinking that they wanted to spread the information. Most of the people who are really concerned with this not aware of the realities of the ground realities. So these people, the organizers, wanted to spread the word. I thank the organizers for having invited me and Dr.C.Ramasamy to this August seminar. I'm not going to repeat the bills, names, and all, and I will go straight away to basically I am asked as a kind of layman how a layman views these three amendments or acts that have been provided now. Basically, I am apart from that, I am a farm graduate. I would like to inform this August forum that I am a son of a small-time groundnut oil merchant who had procured kernels from the local regulated market. So my father employed me as a part-time worker in his oil mill, and I had to do cold press extraction right from 1968 while I was doing 7th or 8th standard until I joined agricultural college in 1973. My father used to procure the groundnut kernels only from the local regulated market, and he never knew who was the seller. He never knew who was the one, which farmer was the one who was selling his produce to him. That was the facilitation made by the regulated market. The farmer never knew my father was the buyer. If the price quoted by my father was acceptable to the farmer would get the money immediately. This anonymity was facilitated by the regulated market committee, and I have been watching this process right from my childhood. Buyer had to pay the buyer, that means my father, had to pay the market committee 1% of the merchandise, the price of the merchandise, as the market fee or cess. There is no market fee collected from the seller, that is from the farmer. This is what I have been watching from 1960s. So there has been a lot of oppositions to these ordinances. As a layman, how I view this opposition is like that the farmers and farmers associations across the country have been protesting against the ordinances. The Punjab Assembly on August 28 passed a resolution rejecting the center's ordinances, terming the two agricultural marketing reforms as anti-farmer legislation. Shiromani Akali Dal MP and Food Processing Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal, she resigned from the Union Cabinet. Since agriculture and markets are state subjects, the bills are being seen as an encroachment on the functions of the states, against the spirit of cooperative federalism. So, I'm going to upload I prepared this as a kind of presentation. I'm going to upload once my recording is going to be over. And there are a few illustrations also that have been included, and the viewers will be able to see them when they are going to be uploaded. Okay, so what are the three bills constitute, and why they are being opposed? That is what is our. So the first Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Bill 2020 aims at opening agricultural sale and marketing outside the regulated markets. It removes the barrier to interstate trade and provides a framework for electronic trading of agricultural produce. It also prohibits state governments from collecting market fee, that's what I told you before, cess or levy for trade outside APMC markets. Critics view the dismantling of the monopoly of the APMCs as a sign of ending the assured procurement of food grains at minimum support prices or MSP. Critics also argue that ensuring a large number of farmers get the MSP for produce and straightening king in the APMCs, that is regulated market, instead of making the state mechanism redundant, is the need of the hour. So as far as second amendment or the ordinance is concerned, the bill is meant, essential commodities bill is meant to replace an ordinance in the wake of COVID-19 lockdown. It says that stock limits can only be imposed if retail prices surge. That's what Dr. Ramasamy he already explained. I don't need to repeat it. It removes cereals, pulses, oil seeds, edible oils, onion, and potatoes from the list of essential commodities. As a lay person or a salaried person, former salaried person, no, if these are going to be removed from the essential commodities list, then the inflation, that is dearness allowance, the salaried person is going to be given is going to be, the dearness allowance fixation is going to be affected, because these essential commodities without which one cannot live, they are going to be removed from essential commodities list. Then my DA will not rise according to the inflation. That is the problem. Nobody has started thinking about this problem. Possibly Dr. Ramasamy will be able to explain upon this. What is the consequences of removing the essential commodities from the list? So critics fear that the bill will effectively legalize hoarding also, as licenses will no longer be required to trade in these commodities. And as in my hometown, the cess payable to market committee has been removed. A government order to this effect has been circulated among the buyers of this area, and my brother is taking care of the business after my father, and he was able to give me with the real circulars and the WhatsApp messages, and I will share it with you when I am going to upload those things. Okay. Then I want to, as a layperson, I want to emphasize on the kind of unprofessionalism resorted to by the government, the federal government, while passing the ordinances to make them acts. This is the this is the pandemic time, and the COVID is everywhere. This is the most opportune time to pass these acts. Where is the urgency to pass these bills in both the houses with all haste? And another question, as a layman, why no question hour was allowed in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha? Shashi Tharoor, an MP, he writes, questioning the government is the oxygen of parliamentary democracy. This government seeks to reduce parliament to a notice board and uses its crushing majority as a rubber stamp for whatever it wants to pass. This is the comment he passed on when the question hour was removed. And one question, any common man will question why this avoidable haste in passing bills could not be avoided. No, the haste could not be avoided. The pandemic started from January 30th, and ordinance was promulgated in June 20th, June 2020. These all bills were proposed as bills in September, and they were made acts September 2020. So why so much haste? Then the dubious role of Rajya Sabha chair in passing the bills by a voice vote. The vice president asked his deputy to take the chair. The deputy tried to pass the bills with a voice vote. Opposition's request for a debate was ignored. The next morning, the vice president appears in Rajya Sabha to suspend the agitating opposition, 8 of them. Waiting in his wings for the accident to happen. That is the question lingering in the mind of a layperson. And about the regulated market, the pandemic, we had migrant laborers problem. Why migrants laborers problems arose at all? That is the major question lingering in our mind. And in my opinion, regulated markets or APMCs, agricultural produce marketing committees, are mainly responsible, the two in a particular state called Bihar. The regulated marketing system was abolished there, and that caused the migrant laborers to seek some job or other anywhere in the country, anywhere in the country, or in Tamilnadu or elsewhere, or Tamil, Andhra, or Karnataka, or Kerala, they had to move from Bihar to elsewhere only to find some job to make a living. So the regulated markets, they were abolished in Bihar, and that caused the migrants' labor problem, and rest of the problem faced by the migrants less. We are all aware of the problems they wanted to head towards their hometown during the time of pandemic. When Bihar removed the APMC system, markets suffered loss of fee revenue with no significant private investment in the sector. Consequently, the jobless farmers, they had to move to southern states to make a living. Pandemic played havoc that resulted in their migration back to their homes. So what ought to be done as from the point of view of a layman? Mr. Modi has characterized the arguments as misleading, promising that promising that the MSP system will continue. This is welcome, but the new dispensation cannot bring cheers to the farmers, small farmers who form the majority, whose access levels to market under the APMC system are not at the rate of 1 for an area of 400 square kilometer on an average, well below the recommendation of the National Commission of Farmers at 1 market for every 80 square kilometer. So there is evidence also that mere liberalization does not lead to private investment in new markets. When Bihar removed APMC system, markets suffered loss of fee revenue with no significant private investment in the sector. If the center's intent is to strengthen competition, it should massively fund expansion of APMC market system, removing trade cartels. Trade cartels mean the tradesmen will form syndicates and fix the price. Those trade cartels need to be removed, and providing farmers with good roads, logistics of scale, and real-time information. Rather than opt for heavy centralization, emphasis should be on the empowering farmers through State Farmers Commission recommended by National Commission of Farmers to bring about a speedy government response to issues. Without strong institutional arrangements, laissez-faire is a French term, laissez-faire policy of the government. That means the government should not interfere in farmers' activity. So this policy may form lakhs of unorganized small farmers who have been remarkably productive and showed up the economy even during the pandemic. And I would like to okay, so I think there is a lone voice of consolation. The Defense Minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh, was the sole voice in the government side calling for the talks with the farmers. He was the Agriculture Minister in Vajpayee's ministry. He said, "No, we will speak to we will talk to the farmers and we will settle the problem." He was the only one who spoke on behalf of the farmers because he is a farmer himself. So I would like to conclude my speech with Oliver Goldsmith's words. But a bold peasantry, their country's pride, once destroyed, can never be supplied. That's what Goldsmith in his poem called the Desert Village, he wrote in 1770, when the Industrial Revolution of England started. He wrote this: "But a bold peasantry, their country's pride, when once destroyed, can never be supplied." If the government, the Modi government, is going to trying to destroy the farmers' once if it is going to be destroyed, it can never be supplied. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Mohammed.
Thank you. So now we will move on to the next session, which is the Q&A, question and answer session. So we have our interviewers, Ms.K.Nithya and Mahalingam, to start. Nithya and Mahalingam, here is your floor to start.
It's a wonderful opportunity. In TNAU, when Balasubramanian served the economic antibiotic professor, as DC, and it's a very honor to be this. Sir, and we have a very short of what people have spoke to us. And in this farm bill, we have so many as Balasubramanian sir stated, because the opinions of people was not inclusive, and also the empowering of farmers has not included. But on the other side, some reforms has been made by the government. Because when we try something new, there must be some hiccups in already existing system. That's very common, as C. Ramasamy sir, stated. So in that case, we would like to conclude this as this farm bill is having both the sides, like both advantages and disadvantages. In that case, laissez-faire state, as you stated, the country is following the laissez-faire state in terms of farms bill. Laissez-faire state means the state will not interrupt in whatever. The state will not interrupt in much. Farms will, the agriculture people, the farmers cannot compete with corporates, or they cannot negotiate with corporates as the other corporate companies do. So the government has to be there for the farmers, as you said. As Chanakya said, there must be Matsya Nyaya. When the king arrives, he has to follow Matsya Nyaya. Matsya Nyaya means the big fish can eat the small fish. That should not be the of farm bill. The big fish cannot eat the small fish for the hunger. So the king and the government and the agriculture community, as we research fellows and students of agriculture, everybody should stand on the small fish side, and to save the farmers from the big fish. So on that note, I'm inviting our co-host Mahalingam, interviewer, to ask his first question to our beloved.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Akka. Thank you, PB sir, and thank you, CR sir, for such a nice speech. You have given a detailed overview of the format, which has been, recently notified in the Gazette of India. So with that, I'll start my question to our former Vice Chancellor, Professor Ramaswamy sir. So given that, like the new bills have been passed, do you think the rent-seeking behavior change, because the commission agents and middlemen, they command substantial influence through being, both buyers of the produce as well as, providers of the informal credit? Do you think their behavior will change now that this act have been passed?
Hello, are you able to hear?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
We can
Yes,
hear
sir.
you.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Actually, this fear of, this rent seeking, all these things, it's all, it is not the India which was in 1940s and 50s. Now we have an India, a democratically run, say, open market. As you all know, from 1991 onwards, we have reformed so much. The market is as fairly competitive as anywhere else. So here, the regulated market, say in Tamilnadu, for example, it will be 7 or 8% of the total commodities sold in the market. That too for some specific commodities like groundnut or something, some specialized market. So there is already a existing competition. This opening up will further relax the conditions, and then there is also scope for products moving from other states and also into other states from here. So in a democratic country, like millions of producers are there, closely monitored by
Sir,
all,
your
all
voice is
pillars
breaking.
of democracy. And the all pillars of democracy closely watching. And then see, if you see, after this IT revolution, we have all portals, number of portals, real-time portals, disseminating price information and so on. That is one aspect. Then there are many of the agriculture commodities are already organized. Say, for example, sugarcane is already vertically integrated. For example, milk is already vertically integrated. And like tea, we have already huge amount of quantities of various commodities, commercial commodities are sold and bought. Then we are also having about 12% of our agriculture, total GDP. Sorry, in 12% of the total agricultural exports, total exports, it comes to about 12% for agricultural exports. So that way, it is already a free market. It is not that easy that somebody comes and stores it. Say for example, very recent example is that when the price of onion shot up, the government immediately stopped the export of onions and other things. So agriculture markets are fluctuating despite our the controls and other things. There will be some variations, but we are quick enough to act. So what my judgment as an economist, there is a political component, as Dr. Balasubramanian said. I do agree with him. There are that is a different process, but as an economist, it adds to a competition basically. So the media and other things, they have not done much research, and then everybody talks what key things are and so on. Say for example, they also criticize that it is a state subject. Central has intervened. See, in our constitutions, there are a lot of what I can say holes in this. In some aspect, we have that agriculture is a state subject. In some other places, there is a necessity. Central can intervene and do things. Then in some other, like food security and other things, it is a concurrent subject. These are all, I think, in the years ahead, we have to really, improve it further. So that way, it is closely watched, democratically run economy. Already a good competition is there. I don't think any rent-seeking kind of culture will enter. And if enters, the media, and nowadays India is even what you are in outside the country. Uh, Today is more dissemination of information and questioning of the government activities and government acts or whatever it is than 2 years before. So I don't see any major problem in that. Yes.
Yes, sir. So it's a very clear answer from your side. It shows that your depth of knowledge, sir. And the second question from my side, as per CACP data, only 6% of the farmers benefited from the minimum support price. Will these bills act as a safety net for the remaining 94%, guaranteeing some assured income for them?
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, this MSB was initially launched in year 1965. And then Agriculture Minister C. Subramanian was there. He was responsible for creation of the Agriculture Prices Commission. Now it is Cost and Agriculture Prices Commission, CACP. Now later it was shifted to Delhi. So in this country, as you said, only 6% of the people were benefited by MSP. Only 6% has understood what is MSP. Hello, is it audible?
Yes, sir. You
Audible?
are clearly
Oh,
audible,
okay.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah, only 6% have understood. It is just in a lighter vein I am telling. See, MSP is announced for about 25 commodities, not for perishables and other things, only for food grains and some commercial crops. So nowhere so far in the, in the maybe 58, maybe from 60, 70 onwards, if you calculate 50 years or so, nowhere this is practically implemented, this MSP. Only for rice and wheat, wherever it is procured, they assure you the MSP. It is procured at the MSP. That is why, Punjab and Haryana farmers are worried. So my point is, the MSP is nothing to do with the recent reforms that have been, announced, or the acts enacted. For the simple reason, any government must be worried about the food security of India. There are almost 1,350 million population. We cannot risk on that. At a time, India is storing 60 million tons of grains. So each year, about 40 million tons are consumed through lakhs and lakhs of, these ration shops or, public distribution system. So either state government or central government, will not take any action for not procuring. So the same amount of grains will be procured in the future, and to that too, even both central and state governments are now distributing food grains to some extent free of cost during this pandemic. So this food security policy will continue for at least another 50-100 years. That is what my judgment. Then many times you have the prices for agricultural commodities other than rice and wheat are below the the MSP level. Practically, it is not, MSP is not doing anything except procuring for the food security. The government of Madhya Pradesh few years back, they introduced a system. I think I don't remember the scheme's name. It is a Hindi name, where actually whenever the important food grains goes below the MSP level, the difference is paid by the state government. They could not carry it on more than 2 years because, given the India, we have about 15-16% of the GDP, maybe now 2 trillion or 2.5 trillion economy, 15% of the, the agriculture production comes in. Definitely no government in the world can procure at MSP level and ensure it. I was talking in some other meeting. I told after 50 years there will be a webinar like this. Still, they will be talking about MSP. So MSP is not implemented in practical sense. What I mean. So even today, see, even in the Bihar case, even Bihar and other places. So MSP is not relevant for practical implementation. So it is kind of some moral support to the farmers, and then there is also some restriction for the traders to go, to bring the prices too much below the MSP level. So MSP is not, it is a notional concept. It is not the practical. It has not been implemented. Not being implemented will never be implemented because I know the government resources cannot afford even for this food corporation of India. This 60 million tons being maintained is huge loss to the government. Procurement, logistics, storage, wastages. Go to like Punjab and Haryana, it will be stored in the open because you don't have the space. But that is essentially required for a country still with the 17 million, 17% of the population at and below poverty line. So this is what my understanding of the MSP. So it
Yes, sir.
won't be anyway. It is a parallel policy. That's what I can call it.
Yes, sir. As you stated, we may need another bill for right to food, as we are wasting so much of stored in warehousing all the wheat or rice or any important food commodity. We are storing and wasting it. Maybe along with this farm bill, we can have a right to food or right to grain bill as that. Thank you so much, sir. And the next question will be asked to our beloved Balasubramanian sir by Mahalingam.
So this is your favorite subject, I guess. So will these farm bills combined with, like the recently passed labor codes lead to development of food processing industries, thus creating more non-farm rural jobs? In rural areas, people are more dependent on rural jobs. given that the formats have been passed and the labor codes have been passed, do you think there will be like a development of food processing industries? Thus, it will lead to more non-farm rural jobs as envisioned also by this present government. Thank you.
No, your voice is echo. I'm not able to hear you properly. Can you repeat the question?
Okay, sir.
Mahalingam.
Yes, sir, I can repeat. Do you think these formats combined with, the recently passed labor codes will lead to development of food processing industries, thus, creating non-farm rural jobs? Now people in the rural area, they are more dependent on farm jobs. Do you think this act combined with the labor codes
Yeah,
will lead to development of
I
food
get your
processing
question.
industries?
Yeah, I get your questions, and I repeat the question. Okay, to be very clear, now I repeat the questions. Now, do we expect that these three acts, they are going to affect the employability of our farmers or the small industries in processing, which are involved in processing or food processing, right?
Yes,
In my
yes, sir.
opinion,
Yes, sir.
no, I spoke to my brother, no, who is very much active in the regulated markets. He is an active buyer from the farm produce. He says, no, as Dr. Ramasamy said, there is no point in having that MSP, minimum support price and all. It has no role in the markets or mandis, whatever it is. So I don't think these three acts are going to change much the livelihood of our small scale industries which are involved in food processing also. That's what it is just a borrowed wisdom from my brother, younger brother. He is doing the business. I just spoke to him maybe a week back, and he told there is it's not going to affect them no kind of in any way. That's what he told. I think I
Can I
answered your query.
supplement that? Yeah. Can I supplement what Dr. Balasubramanian said?
Sir, sure, sir. Sir, sure, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, precisely what Dr. Balu said is correct. See, in India, it is not again the whole India. When I was a small boy in high school or primary school, we had, the raw materials, everything. People buy the paddy and then boil it and make it rice. Now, almost even including people up to poverty line, below poverty line, they consume already processed food like rice, dal. Nothing is processed at household level anymore. So almost already all our food grains are processed and available in packets. Particularly, maybe in a few retail shops we have this, the women come and buy, these small quantities, quarter liter or half liter or something. But my feeling is 90% already processed to be supplied. Then number two is already, this rice processing and all the food grain processing, including millets and then pulses, oil seeds, everything. The whole of India in the past 50 years, there is a development of this processing industry. There is more modern, large rice mills also exist. There are medium and small rice mills also exist. Similarly, for millets and oil seeds or pulses also. So, as long as the as far as this non-perishables are concerned, we have more than 95% is already processed. I don't think any additional employment will come from, excepting that I know there is more demand for food grains now. Actually, we are consuming very close to what we produced, more than 250 million tons of food grains. So because of population growth and income growth, there will be more demand for that. Then as far as perishables are concerned, there is lot of potentials for processing. Either, mostly vegetables, to some extent fruits. In the past 25-30 years, there have been concerted efforts to promote this processing of the perishable industry, perishables particularly. Milk is almost 95% done, and in the case of vegetables, government, there is a separate Ministry of Processing, and then number of colleges, universities offering food science and technology. All these things happen, but despite the best efforts, the vegetable or perishable processing has not taken off. They always compare this with the Western world or developed countries. See, one thing is in countries like India, particularly if you take South India, nobody want a processed tomato because your tomato is available in the corner store, Corona store, all 24 hours, 365 days. This is one of the reasons because it is a tropical country where production is year round. Nowadays, there is no season for growing all these basic vegetables except some hill vegetables. So it is available. So the consumption, everybody wants a fresh produce. So this is one of the major factors. Everybody talks about this, to my knowledge, 25 years, there is scope, there is potential. Actually, Government of India created food parks in many places. Even in Virudhunagar, we have one started. But government gives all electricity, roads, all infrastructure. Private players are expected to come there and start processing. Not much has taken off. So it will take maybe now, of course, younger generation eat more processed food, and the restaurants are coming up, and all these new developments may increase to some extent. But my feeling is it will take another few decades to promote the perishables in a big way, including meat processing, because you have hundreds of meat stalls, very fresh, in front of you. They kill the animals and supply you. So as far as this condition prevails, it will take, but more time. And neither neither policymakers nor scientists have understood this. This is what my view. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a complete summary from both of you. And I would like to ask our Balasubramanian sir the next question. Maybe 1 minute, sir. I'm just. Yeah. So, given that procurement becomes competitive, will India's productivity levels converge to global best practices? Will this bill bring a convergence of global practices into to match India's practices? Do you think this form bill will add something to global level standards, sir? In procurement.
I don't get you. I don't get you. I don't
Okay.
get the question properly.
In this bill, they have clearly stating that procurement becomes competitive. Procurement becomes competitive with this form bill. So, do you think India's productivity levels converge to global best practices with these form bills, sir? The productivity will increase and the procurement will increase.
I think, yeah, I understand your question.
Yeah.
And actually, Adani and Wilmar, that is the company which is storing a lot of the essential commodities in their warehouses, and they are into it. So they will come in. They will become more active when these laws are going to be affected. Okay, so I think the market forces globally they will come into the picture.
Okay. Sir, do you, I'm getting your point, like with the corporate, it is good. For the farmers, it may not be good. Is it, sir?
No, we cannot say that right now, because as long as unless it is going to be implemented, we may not be able to figure out what is going to be wrong or what is going to be. Let it be implemented first, and let us see the effect. And if they are not going to be useful, the other government, which is the one which is going to come after BJP, is going to take care of what is.
Okay, sir.
That is
the bill gives. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Maybe I am a fetish on this, but still, that is the fact.
Okay. So the bill gives freedom for farmers to trade interstate and intrastate outside APMC mandis. So will it create tough time for local farmers who are hailing from small or marginal level farming community to sell their products in local market? Sorry, sir. Can I repeat it, sir?
to whom this question
Yeah,
is?
please.
Sir, anybody can answer, sir. It's- yeah.
I
The
think,
bill gives, yes, sir.
yeah, I think myself and Balu has, different ideas. So that
Yes,
is
sir.
the beauty of debate. Uh, okay. The farmer, in the case of corporatization, I think Balu is always on the other side of me, and no problem. And my feeling is, you see, already, hundreds and thousands of corporate companies are involved in food, selling produced foods and other things. And we have kind of cooperatives and other also playing a major role. And I don't see, in a country like India, any major corporate will completely dominate and take away. So I think we'll have some other time to discuss in detail regarding the second question. What is that question? Your question second, question number 2, you asked. Hello.
Divya.
Yeah. So the local farmers, that is small and
Yeah,
marginal
yeah, yeah,
farmers,
yeah,
may be
yeah,
forced
yeah.
to sell their products in local market below than,
Mm,
lesser than the MSP, because of the
mm.
competitiveness and inter and intra-state freedom of trade. So
Okay,
will it affect the small and marginal farmers largely, sir?
okay. See, for your kind information, India market as a industry, agriculture marketing, you consider that as a industry. We have different types of markets. We have this periodic markets, what we call weekly sandies. Even in Coimbatore, you have several weekly sandies here within the city. Okay, that is one area where small producers come and already sell. Varachandai, it means. Then we have the Ulavar Sandai in Tamilnadu, for example. Ulavar Sandai, Apni Market in Punjab, and Raith Bazaar in Hyderabad, in AP, Telangana, and we have in Maharashtra a number of farmer producers organizations. The part 30 years they were making, exporting grapes, Maha grapes, Maha mangoes. In the case of wine industry, we are one of the competing industry. Actually, Maharashtra, we have about 100 or so wine yards and industry and so on. So that way, then we have the regulated market. Then in some parts we have the cooperative market, and then regular, the assembling wholesaler, retailer, then processor. So this interest rate and inter-district movement will really help for the availability of raw materials, and it will only encourage, the farmers, because we have also price information or market intelligence is immediately available to the farmers. So definitely, it is expected to help. As Balasubramanian said, we have to really wait and see. But I don't see much change in terms of, it is not major structural change we have accomplished now, or done now. So it is a kind of marginal changes, somewhat freeing certain controls. So here is already huge market. See, one thing you always remember, in countries like and India, China, we have huge population. No market can prevent anything. Say for example, when they introduced this Reliance Industries, which came, Reliance and and other major players, including Flipkart. Now they expect that it will it will destroy the lakhs of the mini stores or street corner stores. Now both Reliance is surviving, going up. Even some of the outside, even some of the Saudi Arabian companies are taking, shares, some part of the whole holding in the company. And then you have our Annachi Gadais is flooring as much as, any other shop. The thing is, we have so much population. The person who is going to Reliance is not going to corner stores or mini stores. What you see in US also, you have all kinds of markets there. So that way, definitely increasing competition, different types of markets will only encourage small and farmers, small marginal farmers. More players are coming in, so more competition. That is what my understanding. Yes, my answer is over.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, it's very clear. And we have taken both the sides, sir, as the coin has both sides. And we see Bala, sir, and you as two sides of a coin. We need both, sir, for a better understanding. Yeah, the next
Yes,
question
yes.
will be asked by Mahalingam. Uh, yeah, Mahalingam, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. So this is to Professor Ramaswamy. Sir, I have a question. So, like some experts are saying that, even some economists are saying that, especially left-leaning economists, they are saying that buying a farmer's produce at a rate lower than the minimum support price in those commodities for which the MSP exists must be made illegal. In that sense, wouldn't this make the whole procurement, done by, even the private parties, anti-competitive, and won't it lead to inefficiency? On the other hand, selling below MSP would mean that farmers are losing their income. So how to balance this? Your opinion on this?
Yeah, see, understanding a country's agriculture is very difficult from outside. That too, particularly, countries like India, we have so much variations. That what I told earlier, MSP is a kind of, the notional concept. Very difficult to, practically implement that because no agency has the money and resources to do that. So that way, then another thing is you cannot make illegal. See, illegal means it is a crime activity. It's an economic policy wherein you are introducing some measures so that to improve the competition. Whether that works, how far it is going to impact, we will wait and see. So there is no legal thing appears here. But in the acts, there are related thing in all these three acts. There is violation. Then there are conciliatory boards they have established. These things are there, but not ensuring MSP is not illegal. Actually, it is a market system. Starting from Adam Smith, it is going on. Say, for example, tomato producers of California is not out of concern they are producing tomato and selling to New York consumers. Or neither New York consumers are helping, the tomato produce of California. So it is the marketing system, as the invisible hand works. There is buyers and sellers that is signaled through the market system, price signals. Then the market ends there. So that way, MSP is below MSP is a result of demand and supply forces. Okay. So wherever we can help, government can help, but definitely it has to help. That is all. Marginally, not fully.
Sir, my next question is on contract forming, sir. In this bill, they have supported contract forming. In contract forming, sometimes maybe with their conditions, rejection rate will be higher. Maybe improper size or substandard quality or etc. The rejection rate may be high, so it may lead to post-harvest losses. So the farmers already uncertain about the profit and other concepts. Now they are in huge risk of post-harvest losses. This is one part of the question. And the second part is when the corporate is getting into contract forming, they may go for a similar based products like they will be insisting on a particular commodity than the diversified agriculture. So will it affect our already shrunken agroclimatical diversity, oh sorry, agroecological diversity? So first thing is post harvest losses due to contract forming conditions, and the second part of the question is will it affect the agroecological diversity because of the contract forming conditions? Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, as you said, actually, if you look back in the past 20-25 years, there is some initiation of contract farming in this country. In different, in different states, they introduced some pilot project for few commodities like tomato in Punjab and then gherkins in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. These contract farming models were not successful so far. but now it is a national act. They want to support this. This contract farming again will not be as huge as we expect. It will be confined to some commodities like vegetables and mostly for processing and other things. For rice and wheat, everything we already have, the established markets. Then another thing is like basmati rice or non-basmati exportable rice. This is already, there is a system already in place, and it is going on. So if at all contract farming takes place, it will be for some select vegetables. Already say sugarcane, we already have contract farming. Milk, already we have contract farming. Okay, so these are the two things, successful models. For grains, there won't be any contract farming. So it will be, my judgment is, if you expect 100% to happen, it will be about 10% that will really happen. So you don't have much expectation on this, the contract farming. It will be again a small scale. So I don't think it will have any major impact on the welfare of the farmers, at least immediately.
Yes, sir.
I
So
would
the
like to
next question.
add one point.
Next question to Balas. Yes, sir.
My brother. No. To supplement what that CR was saying, no, my
Yes, sir.
brother, no, he himself sugarcane farmer. Sugarcane procurement is the standing example of the contract farming. We cannot sell it to anybody else. We have to sell it to the sugarcane mill. Okay, if the produce is going to be is not up to the mark in quality, they will reduce the price. Okay, and the money will not be available until the next year or the year next. Okay, the price will not be available. The money, the price for the produce, the farmer is not going to get at once. It will take years sometimes. This is a kind of contract farming. It is not working even in sugarcane. That is what is my experience as a layperson. Now you can ask me the other question.
Yes. Mahalingam will be having a question to you, sir. Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
as pointed out by Professor Ramasamy sir before, the MSPs and the Mandi system, they were introduced in the 1960s, mainly to augment the supply for the public distribution system. With the dilution of these policies through the recently passed act. Sir, can you hear me now?
But you break oftentimes.
Okay, sir. Just a sec.
I think there is yet another.
Sir, can you hear me now?
There.
Can you hear me now,
Yeah,
sir?
now it's better.
Okay, sir. So MSPs and Mandi system, they were introduced in the 1960s mainly to augment the supply for public distribution system. But now, with the act has been basically diluted a bit. So do you think that will affect the implementation of Food Security Act? Basically, can you hear me?
No,
Yes, we can hear you.
No, you are not. No. Yes, ma.
Yes,
Shall I
it's
ask
clear.
Yeah, could you please ask the question?
Yeah. The Mandi system. Oh, sorry. The Mandi system were introduced in 1960s mainly to augment the supply for PDS, public distribution system. With the dilution of these policies, will it affect the implementation of Food Security Act, or should cereals be exempted from these laws?
Audible.
Sir?
Is it not audible?
Now you are. No, now
Ms.
I can hear
Nithya, yeah. Ms. Nithya, can you repeat the question again?
Sir. Yeah. Sir, the Mandi system were introduced in 1960s mainly to augment the supply for PDS system, that is public distribution
Breaking.
system. So the Mandi
Yes.
system were introduced in
PDS.
1960s. Yes, to augment
Mhm.
season
Mhm.
Act, or should cereals be exempted from these laws?
No, I could not hear at all.
So can I type it in the
There's
chat
Just,
box
problem
also?
in the connection.
Yeah, if
yeah, I can just,
VC sir,
give
yeah,
my
yes sir, yes sir.
comments. Yeah. Actually, this,
Get the
yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you hearing me, Balasubramaniam? No.
sir.
Okay. Yeah, are you able to hear me? I can repeat the question for you.
Please, sir. Please.
Okay. Yeah.
Please, sir.
Actually, they are asking this APMC agriculture produce mark not audible. Huh? Okay. Well, I will answer that question. Yeah. I will give the comments.
Sure sir, with pleasure sir.
Actually, the
Yes.
basically, as you know, all in 1960s, we are expecting ship from USA. There is huge food shortage, as you know, under PL 480 program. That is what we described as ship to mouth. So there is huge, food deficit, and they were expecting, India will be starving and millions will die. That was the situation in early 60s. Then with our, contribution of our agricultural scientists, which huge support from Ford Foundation, Rockefeller Foundation, the ERI, all these international research systems were established, particularly CIMMYT and ERI. We are greatly benefited because of the new varieties, high yielding varieties, which came from these international centers and then subsequently developed in India. So subsequently, once we solved the production problem, as per your question, I think does it ensure food security? That was the major question. So with this in mind, our public distribution system was developed. It has developed over years. There were in the initial decades, we had problems. Now it is almost universal public distribution system. So the government is not going to reduce any procurement to ensure food security. Already we have Right to Food and Food Safety Acts from 2013 onwards. So government is bound to ensure food security. So no way, our food security will be affected whatever the new schemes or acts come in.
Clear now.
Yes, answer is over. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And the next question is, the law that regularizing contract farming creates a bureaucrat-led dispute settlement mechanism and removes farmer-buyer contracts out of the ambit of civil courts. So this farm bill is removing civil courts from solving the disputes of farmer and buyer disputes. And that also leads to a bureaucrat-led system. Already we are asking the government to include farmer's voice. Now it is excluding the farmer buyer dispute from civil courts and it is giving it to the bureaucrats. So will it again we have to, will this mechanism be more effective, or should there be dedicated team or tribunals to resolve the disputes? A separate tribunal must be made for this, or this bureaucrat led system will be effective?
Balu?
Bala sir, for you only sir. Yes.
Sir, sir, I could get the question now, but I don't think with the judicial system or the bureaucratic system now in vogue. Now at present, no, to the farmers, even if the three bills are going to be come into effect. So no, I am not optimistic about this. Nothing is going. That's what our past experience, as far as, because this government wants put finger in anywhere and it wants to decentralize all the powers. So I don't think it's going to help the farmers. Even if the farmer is going to go to the court and he is not going to get here justice, maybe within a reasonable time of 1 or 2 months, because the condition of farmers in the villages, even for inputs like fertilizers or pesticides, he is depending upon the merchants. He is getting all these on loan only. No, he does not have money in his hands. So he doesn't have no willpower or the money to fight legally. I don't think it's going to work. No, when these acts are going to be come into force.
Yes, sir. I expected the view from
Maybe
you, sir.
Dr. Ramasamy, supplements. Maybe he.
No, I think what
Yes.
Balasubramanian said is right, because in India it is the our human quality that matters. Even in courts we have lakhs and lakhs of cases already pending, and then bureaucracy also. We have to believe in some institution, whether government or judiciary, whatever it is, but we have to wait and see. Definitely, it won't be a smooth running actually. Yeah.
Yes, sir. As always, the tribunals will have their own issues, and bureaucrat-led will not be having some
Yeah,
inclusive
tribunal
methods.
must
Yes,
be
sir.
something alternative. Maybe we have to wait, and
Yes.
maybe
They have their
later we
own
may end
project.
up with tribunal.
Yes, sir. Always the tribunals. Again, if the tribunals are following the same red tapeism and delaying in dispute solving, then again the farmers will be in trouble. Yes, sir. So the next question, maybe from our side, this is the last question, sir, and we have some more audience questions to you. And the final question from our side is: given that many commodities were removed from Essential Commodities Act, will there be an inflationary
They
pressure?
are
I
breaking
guess you
off
already
times.
touched this project. Yes, sir. Sir, I guess it has been touched by our VC sir already in his speech. Again, given that many commodities were removed from Essential Commodities Act, will there be an inflationary pressure?
Yeah, actually, um, only the stock limit has been removed. It's already it is freely moving. It is under free market environment. Only the cap. How much a trader can hold or stock. So that limit is removed. Number one. Then number two, interstate movement was not there earlier. Now there will be a interstate movement. Only these two measures comes under Essential Commodities Act. Whether it will have an economics is very difficult. Whether it will add to deflation or add to inflation, we have to really wait and see, because storage is expected to level the price across the year. During the time of harvest, they will buy and store. During the on an off season, it is expected to be released, like what is happening to apple or tomato in North America. You store it during the summer and then release it. So something like that. But perishables, it is not an issue at all. Only for the food grains and then commercial commodities. So that really we have to wait and see. Say, for example, this year our production is after BT cotton. This year our cotton production is about 360 lakh bales. We are expecting a excess stock of about 70 to 80,000 bales. I don't know what will happen in the consequent season, because we are consuming about 250 lakh bales, and another 50-60 lakh bales are exported. Now another remaining 50-60 lakh bales is there. So it is something like that. Agriculture market is definitely kind of unpredictable, and really we have to face as it comes. That is what my conclusion.
Yes, sir. I have one more point to add up to your point, sir. As that all the commodities has to be so now Tamilnadu government has bring in EMIEWS, I guess, for top crops, for tomato and onion potato. For all the price fluctuation should be avoided. So they have introduced as you introduced system for early warning systems for this price fluctuations. process, I guess, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Yes.
Yeah, actually, I think it is more than prices. It is last year, we had a major problem of white fly in the case of cotton. Sorry, in the case of, coconut. And then we have this American fall worm. I think Balu knows that better. In the case of maize. So our production have severely affected. And then based on that, they invited Tamilnadu Agricultural University to go for early warning system for this kind of incidence of pest and diseases. I think government got 5 crores or so to work on that. Really, already there is, the pest and disease forecast surveillance is there in place. But this additional funding they got, really we have to wait and see in the next few years how far this system
Breaking,
will be
again
able
breaking.
to, yeah, will able to help. I think Balasubramanian can add on this also.
Yes, sir. You can add up your points, sir.
Me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
This early warning
The
for
voice,
pest and diseases.
the voice is breaking oftentimes. I'm not getting it continually.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, in
Okay.
pandemic,
So
it's all,
as far as
all webinars.
no, Dr.C. Yeah, he was referring to the American palm worm on maize. Maize is an important crop for Tamil Nadu, especially for the poultry industries. And we had that problem introduced from elsewhere. It is an invasive pest, and I am part of that South Asia Biotechnology Center in Delhi, and we conducted a lot of programs on farmers, and we had farmers contact programs, and it was very difficult to control that particular pest. So what happened one morning? There was a sudden rains, and all the American palm worm was gone. So this is going to be the problem with agricultural, and there is going to be a kind of the market stability and the price stability. One cannot install a commodity, especially in the maize. So this is what my experience as far as that fall armyworm infestation in India is concerned. But no, it was over with a single rain. The whole problem was over, but we could not control the whole pest, because it was a big problem. Even with several pesticides, we could not control that. But one single rain controlled that. So the this is a kind of that is the problem with Indian agriculture. It has to meet with the vagaries of monsoon. That's what my economics professor told me. So it is a of monsoon. So is the price stability. So it will be going this way, that way. So one cannot easily say that. I'm done with my.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it's very nice to you all after a long time. We have got a very good insight about the Farm Bill and also the challenges faced by farmers are going to face in the near future. So I guess Divya can you can proceed with the session. Yeah,
So,
has been
Okay. I propose,
so,
to load the PowerPoint presentation
definitely, sir. Definitely.
after the whole thing is over.
So, definitely, sir.
Yeah.
Definitely, sir. So what I was thinking, as Ms. Nithya said, like what I was thinking, like I request you, sir, and to give a final views on this Farm Bills 2020. And with that, like we can actually close the session. So, Dr. Ramasamy sir to start with his final views. It can be like a last few minutes, like overall, like your views on the FB 2020.
Okay. I think, as I told earlier, any policy has kind of, economics component and political component. And my feeling is, as an economist, I welcome this. Any reform used to be welcomed. It increases competition. And definitely we have to go to the next level, like developed countries, market expansion, market competition have to improve. So that way, whatever the marginal contribution these acts will add, that is welcome. Then number two is, as pointed out by Dr. Balasubramanian, the process, political process is equally important in a country like India, where it is the largest democracy. So that weakness is there. And as I told you, the constitution has, you can both sides, argue whether it is brought the way it is brought is right, or there are loopholes in that. These things will be there. It will be discussed further and further. So we have to really welcome reforms, because in a competitive world, in a globalized competition, we need more of this kind of more reforms. That is what I conclude.
Yeah,
Definitely, sir. Thank you for go with Dr. PB, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
please.
What
Yes, sir.
What I
Yes,
would
sir.
like to add, as a kind of epilogue, the government should to say, let them have their say. In stopping the opposition, they want to say something. There is no meaning in them to their say. Even if the these bills have been passed and they were made acts, even after that, the government should listen to what they are trying to say, and the should incorporate the correction when it is going to be implemented. That is what democracy demands. And I think I don't know if Modi is going to do that or not. I am not optimistic and very pessimistic about, because this government is trying to evade, rather than, that is how these people, they wanted to introduce these the acts in passing these bills, and they should listen to others. No, it is not monkey bath. Okay, where you can only deliver, the others have to listen. Parliament is a kind of two-way traffic system. They have to listen to what the opposition has to say, and they should try to incorporate all these corrections in the acts. That's what is my comments.
Definitely.
So I have one
Definitely,
request.
sir. I think this is a. Yes, sir. Yes.
Before that, before you conclude, I want all of you to get introduced, because I am not knowing where, in what institution you are there, and what are you doing. It is, like a father asking my children little far off places, like. Before you conclude, I want that, not
Exactly, you are.
Yes, sir. So, Nithya, can you please start with yours? You are the senior most, actually.
Yeah. So, hello to both of my professors. And I have studied in TNAU ACNRI Coimbatore, BSc Agri 2003 to 2007. And I have given so many welcome address to our C. Ramasamy sir, because he was the VC for all throughout, 4 years, I guess. All the 4 years he was our vice chancellor, because he got selected for the second term also. So you are actually so close to us, sir, for the whole batch of 2003 and 7. And I was a Tamilnadu secretary by that time. So I'm very, very honored to be in this platform, and thanks for LLB School and AgBioIT. Thank you so much, juniors, for letting me in. And Balasubramanian sir, we are like very huge fan of your classes and your humor sense. And still now we are following your Facebook posts because you are keep us always in TNAU even now. So thank you so much, sir. I'm working in Unacademy now, and okay, I'm
Please.
working in Unacademy and Manidanayam IAS Academy for past 8 years, sir. Thank you so much for
It is in
giving
Chennai.
this opportunity. Yes,
You are
sir.
in
It is in
Chennai.
Chennai.
Oh, okay, great,
Yes,
great.
sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
I myself appeared for UPSC exams, sir, and now I'm
Okay.
a tutor for them, and I'm teaching political science, sir.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Nithya. And so I would like to introduce myself, sir. I'm Divyashree Nageshwaran. So I joined BTech Horticulture. You were the VC at that time. And between 2007 and 11, it was BTech Horticulture. And then I moved to CPMB for my MSc in Biotechnology. And then I joined the dual degree program with Cornell University. So I went to do MS in plant breeding. So basically, I had to write like 2 different theses to get both the degrees. And then in the meantime, I fellowship to for the PhD program at the University of Cambridge. So now I'm done with my PhD, and then recently my paper was accepted in the Nature Plants, and hope very soon. So in the meantime, I'm like associated with the LLB school, like doing all these kind of activities for the students, and also part of the discussion forum with the biotechnologists and bioinformaticians. So this is me, sir.
Congratulations, great.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. This is Dr.
Mahesh?
Mahalingam here. Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So this is Dr. Mahalingam that communicated through email. So, hello, sir. Can you hear me now, Balu, sir? Can you hear me? Hello, sir. Is it okay?
Sir,
I
Bala
am
sir,
hearing,
if
I am
you
hearing.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So,
your video, your audio may be better, sir.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So myself, Dr. Llbagbioit. So I did same batch as and Divyashree and Mahalingam. So I was doing my BTech. I joined for BTech Mathematics from the year 2007 to 11. So you were the VC at the time. And also Balu sir was our director, department, CPMB director at that time. And after my BTech, I joined my dual bioinformatics and biotech degree in Institute of Mathematics and Applied Biotechnology. Then I did my PhD in some Paris, PhD in mathematics. Then here I'm doing my second postdoctorate here in Paris. So my specialization is completely mathematics. Then we started this LLB school for the last 2 years, and we have been doing like we were trying to connect all the biology people and mathematics people under single roof. And this is one of initiation, like since the data science is getting trend, and we want to help the agriculture and plant scientists to bring all the mathematicians and agriculture scientists. So yeah, that's a whole introduction between me and the LLB school and AgBioIT as well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, excellent.
Yeah.
Because I am happy that the dual degree program existed for only 3 years. After my departure, it was slowly killed. Similarly, BTech horticulture was slowly killed.
Yes, sir. Actually, I think we were the last
But
recipients and recipients of this dual degree.
Yeah.
And also, I think soon after our batch, I think a couple more batches came out from BTech Horticulture, and then now it is completely stopped. And it is, I think, I think it's sad actually, because it was a very nice program. It should have continued, um, but unfortunately not. And to add a few words, like since I joined the CPMB, I had PB sir was like close to his retirement before I completed my MSc, and but then since then, like I've always been in a good connection through messages and Facebook, and he's on a variety of subjects, and it is always very good to know his views from all these social media. And thank you, sir, for the session, for giving the session today. And next we have
I would like to,
Mahalingam.
yeah. Mahalingam, you can go ahead. Hello, Mahalingam. I think he's not there. Hello, Mahalingam. Okay, so I request.
Can give some
Mr.
intro about.
Yeah. I guess both of them know.
Mahalingam again, he did his
very well.
BTech in agribusiness management.
Yes, I know him.
So again,
Until
Mahalingam.
now, yeah.
So and also we have one more important person from the LLB school. It is Mr. Pranav Adhyani. Pranav Adhyani, can you give a small introduction about you? Hello, Mr. Pranav. Hello, Pranav. I guess. Okay, so maybe I can give introduction about Pranav from my side. So he's also one of important person from LLB school, and he's doing PhD in mathematics from the University of Pondicherry, and he also came to connection with the alumni of biotechnology from TNAU. They joined PhD in Pondicherry University, and we got connected with Pranav, and he joined with LLB school, and now he has been supporting LLB school for the last 1 year for all their activities. Yeah. So yeah.
I guess
So he
I'm
is
the
in
only
Pondicherry
person
University.
Yes, sir.
from BSc
Yes, sir.
Agriculture, I guess.
I think he's doing integrated PhD in Pondicherry University.
Okay, great.
So this is our core team, and also we have another like 15 team members from LLB school, and all of them are supporting with biotechnology, bioinformatics, and also with agriculture related forums. And we are also conducting this webinar for we have conducted 100 plus webinars and conference related to biotechnology and bioinformatics.
Great, congratulations
Yeah,
for
yes,
what
sir.
you are doing and for the achievements.
Yeah.
It's really, I am so fulfilled and happy today to
Yes,
hear
sir.
all these things from all of you.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Thank you.
one request
And
from my
naturally,
side.
I have to thank Balu. We
Yeah.
are very close friends and family friends. We are in touch very closely. So
Yeah.
he is person, he bridged me with you all.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Balu, sir.
Welcome. Thank you all.
I still remember those days when we introduced the BTech Bioinformatics in TNAU. It is in Dr. C.R. period we introduced BTech Bioinformatics, and it was really a successful program.
Yeah, but it is sorry to interrupt, sir, but it is said that bioinformatics course is taken now. Maybe if you can give some support and bioinformatics course, you can bring it back. It will be really good.
No, now it has been shelved. It has been shelved, and we want more faculty informatics schools of its own. Okay, it is not. Now it is dependent upon biotechnology. Now it has been shelved. It is not. It is the course is going to be started again, and the university is going to recruit more staff, right?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we are now using the breeders available there, and it is
Okay.
not correct. And we want full-fledged, dedicated staff for.
I guess it will be.
Going to,
It is
and
really.
they are
It is.
putting up a new building.
Okay, sir. But it is highly possible because most of our alumni are doing really good in mathematics. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
will be,
yeah, I know that. I'm watching.
Yeah.
The students are doing very good, but the
Okay.
problem
Yes.
is with the faculty.
I guess you started
Yeah.
Jnana.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of vet biologists, a lot of vet biologists have also converted into bioinformaticians in the later point of time. So
Yeah.
I think it's not very there should be a which should fully concentrate on bioinformatics, and we should have the right pool of faculties to handle that.
Yeah, because the way biotechnology grew up was like, no, I was asked to take care of these people, and we could do, we changed ourselves into the biotechnologies first, then we grew up along with the science, but it did not take place the same way in bioinformatics. That's why we have now shelved it, we have not closed it, and the university is very keen to start a school on bioinformatics.
Oh, that is
And
really
that's
great. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is really
similarly,
great.
one of my
Oh.
another babies was killed is agricultural information technology, which was going well actually.
Yeah.
That was closed actually.
Okay, sir.
And again in in Anand Agricultural University, recently I was there. They are again going to start a the degree program in or a college or something like that in agricultural information technology. So in TNAU there is fluctuations unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Yeah.
Actually,
Mathematics and data
I
science.
saw
Yeah.
in South Korea, one of my students, is doing a great job in bioinformatics. No, they are doing business there. That kind of tendency did not come up in India, right? And the environment there is something different, and the government is encouraging. Here there is no.
Okay. Okay.
India. That is the problem.
Yeah.
So thank you very much all. I am leaving.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And
So,
I am
thank you, sir.
I have a request for DC.
yes,
Can
yes.
you, the students may love to meet you.
Yeah,
Because we are here.
I will
Boys.
move to another computer. You kindly wait. I will move to another computer.
okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I will wait.
So then we'll give a small vote of thanks after he
Yeah.
come back. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Bala sir. And it's very, very, very nice to hear you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So Mahalingam, maybe you can also switch on the video.
Yes, and we will be happy to. I think Mahalingam, is he back?
Yeah.
He is back.
So we covered you up a
Asking
little
you.
bit, but yeah.
Sorry, Mahalingam, again we couldn't hear you. So,
I could not hear.
Yeah, it's definitely, technical glitches are very common in. It's like, it's very difficult to conduct such kind of discussion panels like in the virtual background. So, yeah, that's the drawback of technology.
yeah, that's
Of
okay.
internet.
So maybe Divya, in the meantime, we can announce the feedback. And
You can
also the,
announce about the competition for the summary.
the competition and the feedback, so that when
Yeah, definitely. So participants, you must have heard a lot of things, a lot of points. You must have jotted down like a lot of points from the two speakers, and I hope they covered everything from nook and corner of this Farm Bills 2020. So here we have a few things to remind you. So the best summary will be getting the best summary, like the handed over will be given to will be getting like 500 rupees cash prize, and top best 3 summaries will get published in imotforum.com, and top 10 will get their appreciation certificates as well. So the person who does the best summary, I mean the first best summary, will get a 500 rupees cash prize. So please contact for any other details. Please contact llbschool.org, and so your feedback forms will be sent to the Telegram groups. So you can immediately start filling your feedbacks and get your participation certificates. Your participation certificates are already ready, so kindly just fill in your details and get it.
Yeah.
So I
To
wish
add one more point,
wish all of you have subscribed to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, and to add one more
Yeah,
point to the
I wish.
announcement, we have a limitation
Yeah.
for the certificate, so kindly wait for a week time. So you will receive it within a week time. Yeah, I think Ramasamy sir is
Yeah.
here.
So you cannot. So the limitation is we only send like 100 per day. So if there are more participants, then you should be waiting for a week to receive all those certificates.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Now,
Thank you for
yeah.
accepting the request.
Yeah,
Thank you,
maybe I can
sir.
give a small vote of thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
Thank you so
now
much.
it is my
Yes.
privilege to propose a vote of thanks for both of our guests on behalf of.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes, sir.
We can, yeah.
Yeah. So on behalf of the LLB-SCHOOL, we thank both of our guests, sir. So thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
You.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. And
Thank you, Balu sir, and thank you for connecting VC sir with us. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Sure, sure.
great pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you all the audiences who listened with patience. In spite of all the technical glitches, we have to thank them. Yeah, thank you so much.
And guys, please stay tuned in our AgBioIT Telegram group for the feedback link and the summary competition related details. Yeah, so have a nice evening, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and maybe the
Yeah.
AgBioIT team can stay. We'll meet in the WebEx later. Okay.
I think VC sir has come.
Okay, so he wanted to convey something.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the recording is done, right?
Oh my God. Yeah, I